this silly kid tried to set me up, and then the head teacher came. He was nuts. He grabbed me so hard, and then he just put me inside his cupboard and he tried to lock me in.
So hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ruth and this is Raising Kids in Real Time Unfiltered. As a certified professional in advanced parenting skills, I am here to make parenting simple and practical for you. So in my last video, I spoke about not every difficult child is a naughty child. And also I talked about parents helping their children to express feelings, because behind those behaviors, behind the slamming doors, the anger, the fighting, there is something going on inside. A child is saying, I need help. So today we are joined by Prince, who will be speaking openly about his lived experience as an autistic person. And together we will explore emotional expression, childhood experiences, family understanding, and the importance of listening to what autistic children may be feeling beneath the surface. So hello Prince, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here and for being willing to share your story with us. Please, could you introduce yourself to us?
Hi everyone, my name is Prince Israel and I'm a founder of Autism Survivor Champions Awareness, and I'm also a founder of Royal Kingdom Worship as well, and I am currently a music tutor, private, and I teach people of all ages.
So thank you, Prince. Now let's begin with our first question today. When you were a child, what feeling did you struggle to express that people around you misunderstood?
I struggled to express, because that time I was non-verbal. At that time, how old was I when I started becoming non-verbal? I think it was 3, yes, I believe. And it lasted until I was 5 or 6. 6. But then people didn't have an idea that I was non-verbal, because they were thinking like, what's wrong with this guy? Is he dumb or something? Is he muted? Is he whatever? Because the Black community had 0% knowledge of, people who are like non-verbal. They would easily pick on them, or they would bully them, or criticize area. But me being non-verbal, like, I just had to be honest. It was just because people were not having awareness at the time.
Yeah. Because
then, like I mentioned before, in my nursery, primary school that I attended to, they were much more aware of my emotions and feelings, but not like judging me for it. They were just like thinking, okay, what can we do to be helpful?
Yeah.
So they were much more helpful, because I went to a school that was special needs school.
Okay. Is it from primary school or from... Yeah, is it special need primary school, secondary school?
Both of them.
Both of them. Okay. So, you said that was at age 5. You were at nursery from age 4, right? Or age? When did you? Age 3.
I was non-verbal.
You were non-verbal. So, were you attending nursery at that time, or you were home? You just went straight to primary school, or you attended nursery even when you were non-verbal?
Nursery first.
So how did they, do you remember the support you got at nursery even when you were non-verbal?
Actually, no, nursery I was okay. Then something changed into me, because no one had a clue that I was like distancing away from children. So I called for speech therapists that probably I would needed to go for diagnosis.
Okay. Thank you, Prince. Thank you. So our next question would be: were there moments when your anger, silence, or isolation were actually signs that you were overwhelmed or hurting inside?
Yeah, I'll be honest, because again, when I was in my younger age, some people didn't realize that I was in need of something, especially at a young age. They'll be like, they'll tell you to go away, especially when it's church times. People just want to hear what's going on. But I wanted to associate or something like that, or whatever it is. Sometimes it will just drive me away. And sometimes when they do that, it makes me feel isolated. And sometimes they will just make you feel who are you to come in my space? Get away and all of that. So that made me feel isolated, because then I didn't have friends of my age at that time.
Okay. Why was that?
I think it was due to my challenges.
Okay. And what kind of support did you get from your parents? Did you express this feeling to your parents? Did you express your feelings to them? Did you tell them how you were feeling at that time? Did you tell them how you felt, not having, friends of same age as you?
No, to be honest, I couldn't really tell them, because like I said, I was still dealing with the non-verbal matter. So it was kind of hard to explain to them, because then they themselves didn't have a clue, because we were going to the same church. I won't mention the name, because then they were not having, what's it called? A support system for people on the spectrum. So it made it kind of really difficult at certain time.
So you started speaking from the age of 9, you said?
No, 5 or 6.
5 or 6. Okay. So prior to that time, were you always isolated? Were you always angry because you couldn't express your feelings? Did you used to throw tantrums, when your parents speak to you, or when they speak to you? Did you used to throw tantrums? How were you expressing that, that feeling that you could not share? How did the feeling come out? What you were feeling inside, how did you express it to them? I knew you were non-verbal, but how did you express that feeling, in terms of behavior to your parents?
I think that time, I think you said due to the non-verbal side, I think you wanted attention. But then, because then mom didn't really know how to balance it. Because if there's no balance, it can be very, very difficult.
Yeah.
And it can be very challenging. So at some point, it's when you're in service and there's no extra support to handle the case. What I really felt was on the inside of me was a little isolation. Really wanted more attention, because like I said before, in time past, if a kid wants attention, it's not for you to ignore him or her. Your job is to just stop what you're doing. Yes, I know one will want to hear what the preacher or whatever is trying to say, but your priority is not to ignore feelings or ignore body language.
Thank you, Prince. Thank you. So, what do you wish your parents, teachers, or other adults had understood about autism and emotions while you were growing up? So, what do you wish they had understood about autism? What it feels to be autistic. While you were growing up.
Okay, while I was growing up, I mean, because then my parents were like new to it because they didn't really know much. Because when they came to this country, they've never heard about autism and they never think that autism existed. It's like, say, for example, someone comes in brand new, like new to the whole environment, not having any idea how the system of UK or America works, and they feel like, okay, let's say one has a son or a daughter and it's on the spectrum, and the one is struggling to know how they can handle it, because then, technology wasn't alive then. Technology was growing slow, like you're planting a seed in a plant. The thing that you had to know was going to your local therapist, to going to a library to do your own research about how autism works. So I think in that time, I think my mom and dad didn't really take the chance to study how it works, or how we can be managed, or how the ways we can go about it. But I mean, it's funny you said that, because we were fortunate to get support, but then we had to use our wisdom, because if anything goes wrong, then it's gonna backfire.
Yeah.
School I went to, like I said before, was taking advantage of my vulnerability at that. Mom strongly said, "You're not there to do rubbish to me. You're there to teach me something." And there were times when I feel isolation. Sometimes I would get shut down. Sometimes I'd get picked on. Sometimes I'll end up getting into trouble for nothing. Sometimes it can cause that little trauma inside that can stay for a long, long time. But having said that, it's important for families to listen and to pay full attention to their children who's on the spectrum, and so keep their emotions in control. Easy for one thing. That's it. I'm getting angry. Ooh, I want to beat him. Ooh, I want to kill him. But instead, just calm down. Ask for help. Who knows how to handle, people on the autism spectrum properly? Not to people who haven't got any knowledge about it. But lastly, what was it? The support the council gave to me, I was very fortunate in terms of travel. Because then they couldn't see me just doing things on my own. I'll tell you the funny, it may sound weird or funny to you. They wrote a letter to say I was entitled for Freedom Pass at the age of 8 or 9. And I was like, how did I get to that stage? I'm not even 60. It's only for those who are 60 or above.
Exactly. Where would you be traveling to at the age of 8 or 9? That's funny.
It doesn't happen like that. But what I realized later is that if you're on the autism spectrum, or you call a letter, they will end up now suggesting what can they do to just help in future. And I had it for a while, and it's really kept going. Because if I didn't have it now, it would be, how would I be able to get to school? I was more like dependent on school bus, because they would come and pick kids up from their houses.
Yeah.
But that lasted for like, I can't remember how many years.
Mm.
But when I got to 16 or 17, I said, no, it's time for me to stand up and just take advantage of it, you know, but that.
Oh, that was actually funny. Thank you, Prince. Okay, so you mentioned that some people didn't treat you well, you know, right?
Okay, yeah, I mean, some people, okay, let's be honest. Some did, some didn't really have any idea. I was very lucky that one of my family friends, you know, that I look up to today, in fact, he's really one of the best. Well, he's not alive while he's in heaven. God bless his this. Such an amazing guy. He knows God for himself inside out. There was a time I wanted to knock down the expensive furniture in my family. I wanted to kick it down, or I don't know.
Was that because you were angry?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't that I was angry. I was kind of hyperactive at the time.
Okay.
So it wasn't just angry. I think it was hyperactive. So this brother came over. We were living in a flat in Southwark, near Peckham Library, I believe. And then he now helped my dad to move the furniture somewhere else. And then he was so gentle, and he didn't even beat me to it. He was just using his wisdom. In the same thing with this brother, he did the same thing. Because they were born in UK, so they had more of the advantage.
Okay.
Rather than those who were born, like I said, in Africa before, are behind. I mean, no offense, because if one is coming, you wouldn't have any idea how autism plays in the life of the individual and how does it affect their daily life. I was like, I mean, the only bad thing is because they were not trained. So some of them were not really understanding how my needs were met.
Yeah.
Particularly this brother who also passed away in 2019, who my mom and dad knew for a while. It was when this guy took me to the men's toilet. Not that he didn't do anything nasty, but in his mind, he thought I was disturbing the service. So he took it upon himself and he beat me up in there without people seeing.
Wow.
Because then, like I said, I was only maybe 5 or 6, and probably I was stuttering, or maybe I was still not verbal, so there was no way I could that time. If I was verbal, or that would have been a different story.
Of course.
It was very, very tight for at that very, very, very period for me, because I mean, if I really had a family that studied more, okay, the things to do and know what to, because I remember I watched your program the other time. You were about when kids are going off the rails, your job is not to hit them, but unfortunately, it happens to be that my family had to do it in such a thinking it was the African discipline method. So at some point, it put a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
Because it's part of the biblical training themselves, or whatever it is. But at some point, I realized that, I really wanted to run away.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what got into me, because I thought because of the fear they put into me, that was what made me wanted to go away. Nobody told me to run away like that.
Yeah.
It was just like, it came to my mind. I was small, and I'm thinking, why would a small guy be away? Like, just because you want to avoid the harsh beatings, or etc., etc. I think that was really unintentional.
Yeah.
But it was just that, okay, you know what? Let me just try and find somewhere else, because I didn't really understand how people from Africa operate or behave. My understanding was very little.
So
I think that's what it was, really.
oh wow. See, that is what people don't understand. Children don't forget. I mean, this thing happened to you when you were 5. Someone took you into the bathroom, someone took you to the toilet to beat you, and you still remember that. Children don't forget. So that's why parents, adults have to be careful what we do to children sometimes, because they don't forget, and that traumatized you. Up till now, you still feel traumatized by that.
Well, well, to be honest, I don't feel that now, but it took me a while to come out of it, because it wasn't just one that traumatized me. It was even the rejection at church as well. What else traumatized me more? The incident with my primary school. This silly kid tried to set me up, and then the head teacher came. He was nuts. He grabbed me so hard, and then he just put me inside his cupboard and he tried to lock me in. This was around 31 years back.
Wow.
That was the time I was verbal. That very time that I now said, Mom and Dad, this is what this guy did. So they kept me, at home for the time being.
Okay.
Now, my school was being in denial, because then the Ofsted wasn't that strong then. If Ofsted was strong, they would have really ended that person's career. So the whole thing took about months, I think, and then he ended up in court. But the victory came to my family, but damage already.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Oh, so that will bring us to our next question, Prince. How did the way people treated you affect your confidence, your mental health, or your sense of belonging?
Oh, well, that's a very interesting one. It may sound funny. It may sound funny to me or to you. Sorry for laughing, but
it's okay. Feel free.
I'm trying to clean church up, because they didn't really know I had a coping mechanism. So I just wanted to keep my hands busy. Then I think there was this point, some guys in the church were looking at me and saying, what does this guy know about? Let's try and, discourage him and all that stuff. But little did I know, I kept on going. And then, what was it again? It was it Sunday school? I think, what year was it? 1998, I remember, when my Sunday school teacher drove me away. That alone hurted my confidence.
Drove you away?
Yeah. Somebody who I knew saw it and was explaining to me, but I just didn't want to be in a class who are not my age. So I hid behind so that Sunday school teacher wouldn't see. Well, I was very fortunate that he didn't throw me away. But what I didn't realize, he was not embracing people like myself. He must have got very, very, very hard for him, and especially when he was refusing me to not let me join the kids choir. That alone just threw me off. And then I expressed my frustration. He took it upon himself, and then he beat me.
No.
Yeah, yeah. Right in front of everyone.
Oh. So how did that affect? So how did that affect your mental health, your sense of belonging, and your confidence?
I think that because, like I said, when I was younger, I was starting to like I said, my confidence was pretty low. I couldn't do eye contacts properly, and it lasted me for about can't remember how many years now. It's because the surroundings that I was with were not really helpful. Instead, the Sunday school teacher was just pretending to like me. He was acting like it's not real. So I didn't even know he was living in pretense, shall we say is the right word. So eventually it was more like, okay, so he doesn't really hurt my feelings. So he was just acting like, okay, do you a favor. But unfortunately, everything was just went downhill. And and when everything's going down, then it's like you can't get back up again.
Yeah. Oh. So sorry to hear that, Prince. I don't even know what to say, honestly. I mean,
No.
That was a lot. Must have been a lot for you growing up.
Yeah, it has.
Okay, so our final question would be, what advice would you give to parents raising autistic children today, especially when it comes to understanding their feelings and emotional needs?
Okay, this is very straightforward. Let's pay more attention, and let's not be arrogant, and let's be relevant to those who are raising children on the spectrum, because it's about you, it's about them.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, what they're gonna be looking for. So it's also important for you to be vocal rather than just hitting them or anyhow. And another thing I want to add, please permit me to say, try and just stay calm, and let's stay in control. We are not dealing with normal human beings. We're dealing with people on the spectrum. It is a different ballgame. It's not the same, because some are not like rubbish, but it's because we, as the African community, has failed to prioritize and understand needs. For example, if he doesn't like loud noise or people touching or anything like that, let's respect that and give to who honor is due. For example, if this one doesn't like cheese or eating eggs or ham or anything like that, don't force them to eat it. Their body may not take it. So that's what I would. And also, if they don't like things that would trigger them, let's say loud noises, like maybe vacuum cleaner or anything like that, just get an ear defender for them, because some of them might get easily irritated. Because when I was younger, I have to come clean on this one, I didn't really know that I had a sensory. For example, if somebody's cleaning or making food, that will throw me off a little bit. I don't know. But that really, should I be truthful?
Please. We're having unfiltered conversation. That is why it's called Raising Kids in Real Time, Unfiltered. An unfiltered conversation we're having here. So be real as you can, please.
Okay, I'll be quick. We've got to dash somewhere. But I remember when my mom called me downstairs in front of the kitchen. It's so funny. she just put the vacuum cleaner in front of the kitchen door. And when I saw it, I walked right back up to my room, right back up there, because I thought Mum was going to use it. So when I saw, what is it called? The Kenwood food processor, guess what I did? I walked back to my room, or somewhere further, because I was thinking that was going to trigger sensory at some point. But I'm kind of used to it now.
That's good. Thank you so much, Prince. Thank you for sharing your story with us today, and thank you to everyone watching. I hope it has helped us all better understand autism, emotions, and the importance of compassion and listening. Remember, behind every behavior there is often a feeling that needs understanding. So thanks for watching today. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button, the like button, and the share button, and please share if you found this video very helpful. And as always, you are doing better than you think. Thank you so much, Prince. Thank you for coming to join us today. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys in another video. Take care. I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.